morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome back to Bariatrics and Beyond, the podcast where we talk about life before, during, and beyond bariatric surgery. So grab yourself a healthy snack and a drink, because on today's episode, we are going to talk all about plastic surgery, but not just any plastic surgery. We are talking about the face and neck. And to help us discuss this is my very own sister, Nicole. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Kayla.
So you are you're about 6.5 months post-op, right?
Just over 6 months. So yeah, 6.5 months, I would say.
Okay, so can you show us how you're healing? Like, show us where your scar. Like, you can't see your scars, but can you point them out? Where
I forget that I have them because they're just not that visible to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there might be a dot right here on my nose that I see every now and then, but that's it. It's a dot. Unless I look. Kayla's given me sign language from across the table, but anyway, when we have to work out what that is when we go home, because I've got no clue what she's talking about. Well, I think I do. Under my chin, this is probably the one. I mean, I don't see it. Nobody sees it unless I point it out, but it's probably one that's I would say the most prominent.
Right. So list your surgeries and point where the scars are.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Extended. I don't know where. Look, this is me being honest. I don't even know at what point he did what at to coincide for that scar. So he did an extended face and neck lift.
So where would those scars be?
I'd love to be able to tell you, but I don't know. But I think one is obviously
they're on your face.
One is under the chin, right? I'm assuming that's where the neck goes.
Yes.
And then I have them also I have them in the front and then the back of my ears. So these are almost.
They're invisible. You cannot see the front of your ear.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all in the front of the ear, in the front of this one. And I did have some on the back. Now, I can feel those probably a little bit more. There is a little bit of a bump behind there. And I can say what happens when Dr. Espino does your ears. He actually leaves them. Some surgeons actually sew your ear to the side of your face. So it looks like you've got it. Yeah, you've got like a bit of a pixie kind of ear. But he leaves them open so they heal on their own. Yeah. So I do have a little bubble in the back if I felt them, but other than that, you can't even tell. They look like they've just healed naturally and formed their own shape again. Mm-hmm. I had a brow lift and I do have scars up in the top of my.
They're in your hair.
They're in my hairline. They're up here. You can't even see them. I do have some scars just here, and what happened was he followed the line, the hairline around my temple and stuff. So that's. If you're looking, you can probably see these ones. Just a little white.
They're the only two scars that I can see.
If you're just looking.
But they're so light.
Yeah, they're so light. And bear in mind, like, I haven't used any scar treatment.
Let's talk about that in a second, because I want to ask about your skin routine.
Okay.
But so for the lip flip, because that's a big trending thing, is a lip flip. Where are the scars for that?
You literally, like, around the edge of my nose, I feel like to the hole of where my nose is, right underneath the rim here. And then back in the crease where you wouldn't see, and then it sort of stops right here. So he didn't go across my lip. He didn't lift like that. He literally followed the line of my nose. So you can't see a thing at all. Because I know a lot of people are scared about having a lip lift and they're worried about it and they're worried about the scar and across the.
Because I've seen placements that are quite low, so it kind of gives you a little bit of like a Hitler moustache.
Yeah, and he's Dr. Espino is very mindful of where his scars are, so he does follow the outline of your body, so you can't. Yeah. You can't see it. It's non-existent.
And another procedure you had, which is huge on social media right now, a lot of people are getting, is the upper and lower blepharoplasty, which is basically like the hooded eyes and then the eye bags.
Right.
So you can't even see yours at all. You can't see.
Yeah. So for me, like, I had bags under my eyes. I had really dark circles. Mm-hmm. I looked tired all the time. So I didn't even really realize. I mean, I knew I had them and I knew I had dark circles, but I didn't really realize what it was going to do when I had them corrected. Like, I couldn't quite work out what that was going to look like, right? So the bottom incision is literally like putting eyeliner on. That's how close it is to my lash line. And on the top, I would say, and I will raise my lids in a second so you can see, it's literally in the crease, I would say. I didn't even feel like I didn't know I had extra skin there, I guess. Like, people might not think that that's what they need, but he knows what he's doing. I wouldn't have thought that I did, but obviously I had it done. And I'll close my eyes in a second, but you can just see a really faint white line. But I have to really raise my eyes to be able to see them. So obviously when I put makeup on, you can, but if I'm just looking at you naturally, you can't even see where they are.
Okay, now raising your eyebrows. People write this comment because like I do the TikTok and the Instagram. So I read every comment. I read all the nasty comments. And then when they're about my sister, I get a little defensive. You talk all you want about me. I don't care, but don't talk about my sister. But
which is why I just don't read.
Yeah, well, that's why you don't have social media. But a lot of people are like, well, she's still got wrinkles in her forehead.
Right.
Can you please explain to people that how a facelift does not necessarily
take care of your wrinkles?
Can you explain that? Because you are Dr. Espino's coordinator, so you've learned a lot as well.
Absolutely. So the thing is, same as me, I would have thought, oh, my wrinkles are going to disappear and stuff like that, right? So he's doing a deep plane facelift. So what's happening is it's talking about the level of, and the distance is sort of going down into your skin. So it's basically your facelift is going to be, it's the repositioning of your muscles and your tissues. Yes, he is going to take away some of like the excess skin, right? But it's concentrating on your muscle placement and your tissue placement so it doesn't sag. So he is going to remove the skin. He doesn't do a forehead lift. Like this is not going to
None
go
of that
away.
Got repositioned.
No, it didn't at all. Like my brow probably got lifted a little bit, right? And there was things up here. But I did, if you have Botox, you were going to continue to use and need Botox, right? I did Botox before I went in. I thought I was going to not have any more wrinkles. Obviously, I had to learn, and I am very expressive, right? So I did have Botox. And it's smart. Like if you do it, if you have Botox now before your surgery, I would say best thing to do is hold off having Botox for a good 5 or 6 months before your surgery.
I was actually going to ask you that because someone just asked that in the Facebook group. It was like, when do you have to stop doing Botox before a facelift?
I would stop 6 months just to give, I would stop if you could stop everything at least 6 months, like at least you're going to have a better, Dr. Espino's going in with a better canvas. You know what I mean?
It's going to have more of a natural
thing to work with, right?
You can't figure out where your muscles are if it's paralyzed with Botox.
Right. So I would say try and be clear of any sort of fillers and stuff for a good 6 or so months.
Do people have to get fillers dissolved?
Depending on how much you've had done. Like Dr. Espino will still do your surgery if you have had fillers, and if you've had Botox, that's fine. But some people that have been doing it for years and that have quite a lot, he might not do your surgery for 18 months because he wants them either to be dissolved and you be free if you've been doing it for a long period of time, or depending on, it really depends. So he will do it, but it depends on the amount that you've had and for how long a period of time you've been doing it. So let's go back to the Botox real quick. I would say don't do any Botox. Keep it out of your system. Even if it's 3 months, it's still fine, but 6 months if you can. And then what I would do is when you've had your facelift on one of your post-op appointments, get your Botox. So you can add it to your package, and he can do it before you leave to go home. So as you're healing and as you're going through the recovery, your Botox is going to start to kick in. And then, 3 months later, 4 months later, when you would normally go for your Botox, you have your top up. But it's going to keep you looking fresh. So it's been 6 months. I haven't had any Botox since my surgery. So I am due to go back, and I know once I do go back, I'm just going to look as fresh as I was when I came out of surgery. But that's just something we do, as somebody that uses Botox anyway.
Exactly. So a facelift doesn't necessarily mean you don't ever need Botox again.
You're still going to have some wrinkles. You still might probably have these lines. It depends on how deep they are. He's repositioning the muscles and the tissues in your face, which are going to be
your
face and your neck, and he's going to be repositioning things like with your eyes. He does that canthoplasty, because if your eyes are something that naturally slants down, he's going to just lift them a little bit, not just like this, but he'll reposition them to make them, to lift them up a little bit so you don't look so sad. So I would say, just another big thing that I want to touch on, if it's all right, with Dr. Espino, because we are getting a lot of patients that are coming in that have had fillers or have been using fillers for a really long time, and they haven't disclosed that sort of information. What I would say is don't be scared about telling us everything that you've had. Like, he needs to know. Tell him all the fillers that you've had. Tell him, the Sculptra. Tell him, the Botox. Like, even if it's recent, you're not going to be denied because you've had this, that, and whatever. He's just going to tell you whether or not you need to either stop doing it for a long period of time, or whether or not you do need to get them dissolved, because what will happen, and I'm just going to say it, if you put in your consultation and you don't mention that you've done a couple of these things, like, he knows, he can tell. Like, he may come back and deny you because
For withholding information.
because he can see that you've had something done. It's all right if you forgot and you're like, oh, Nicole, like I forgot to mention I had this late last year. No problem. But what happens is if you fail to mention something and then he has to come back and ask you, have you had this, this, and this done? And you say, oh, yeah, well, I did that, but it wasn't that great, so I didn't mention it. He's going to say, well, if that's the case, what else are you not telling us? So just be really honest, real upfront.
Take your time with the application. Really think about
what you've had,
Yeah, because sometimes I would probably just blow through it and be like, oh, hang on, wait, I actually did have fillers once. It was a one-off thing, but
or if he can still see it, if it's from 10 years ago, it might be a substance that they used back then that he can't really work with or so I would say just be really honest and take your time filling out your application because it could come back and, bite you in the end if you're not honest because we're not dying
want
anybody for fillers
the best surgery plan, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's got to be able to make the best decision based off
what you've got in there right now. Yeah,
exactly.
Or if you've got threads are a big one, we're not saying that you can't have surgery if you've got threads, but you need to tell him so he knows what he's working with before he goes in there because it's dangerous to find that out when you're on the operating table, there's probably another plan. So just be transparent with everything that you've had done.
Yeah, perfect. So I'm going to ask this question on behalf of all the 5-head girlies because I'm one of them. People ask, can you do like a forehead lift? I don't know what it's called.
Or a forehead reduction or something like that.
That's the one, forehead reduction. Does Dr. Espino do that?
No, I think I remember. I mean, I'm pretty sure that we might have been in there together when we asked him about it and stuff. And he honestly said that he would look into a hair transplant first before he even did a forehead reduction. So no. He doesn't do them.
Doesn't recommend them.
No.
Yeah, because I've got a big one. I've probably got a 7-head to be honest with these down. So yeah, getting a transplant, that would be.
I think that sounds like a lot.
It does sound like a lot, but to be honest, all of it's a lot. You know what I mean? We do the most. We do the most. I reckon here at USC we need to add a hair transplant doctor.
You think?
Yes. Have you seen all the men going to Turkey to get their hair transplants? I know a few of our mates that have done it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you could go to Turkey, you should be able to go to Mexico.
We
might be onto something.
I know.
Next minute.
Well, we've got a vajayjay doctor coming on.
Oh, Jesus. I don't even know what I can say.
I don't know how I'm going to post on social media about a vajayjay doctor. You know what I mean? Like, what images can I post to before and afters? I'm not getting up in there for before. Like,
listen, I just want to say,
really creative. My job's about to get 10 times harder.
I just want to say this. Like, I don't know. I'm very modest. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Since when?
What do you mean? When it comes to like your body and stuff, what are you talking about?
You're modest?
Yes. What do you mean? Have you ever seen me really get changed in front of you?
Well, not in front of me.
Huh?
Not in front of me, but.
Well, who do you think I'm getting changed in front of if I don't even get changed in front of my sister?
Well, you love it.
Oh, for God's sake. I don't get changed in front of them either.
Oh, well.
Anyway, so what I was going to say was like, I'm fairly.
This took a hard left. Yeah, go ahead.
And why did I say them? Like, it's them.
Because like,
there are. Don't say that. There is not them. Like,
what are their pronouns?
It sounded like
they,
all of them.
them.
What do you mean they? That sounded like a lot. Like, holy crap. Delete. Just joking. No, what I was.
Can you make a time note of this at 7 minutes and 45 seconds? Delete Nicole's love life.
No, I don't care, honestly. There is. It's not them. But what I was going to say is, Jesus. Well, I was say Jesus Christ.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say that I'm really surprised at how many people are really open about this type of surgery. Like, oh, can I do my face and can I do this at the same time? And even looking on Facebook where everyone is like, oh, I'm going to need that, doctor. I'm going to need that. I don't think that I
would put your business out there like that.
Yeah, no. Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm fairly modest. I wouldn't sit there and say, oh, I'm going to need to go see that doctor because I'm going to need a revision on this. Like, I just am really shocked at the amount of people that are that open.
They are just owning it.
With their bits.
They just own it. Because look, here's the thing. I am extremely modest. Like, with my body,
well, not with me now because I've had to look after.
Right, but I've never showed my arms. I still haven't shown my legs. But once you have gone through a plastic surgery journey when it comes to your body, I
All
was
bets
like,
are off.
I was freaking out about doing the consultation. And then when I got there in real life and had to take my clothes off in front of Dr. Lazarus, the first day I met him, I had to do it because I was a Monday surgery.
Right.
Right. So this was for my arms. I was freaking out. And then when I realized he didn't care, like you are just a blank canvas. You're not even a body at that point. And then when the nurses have to come in and change you and dress you and all that, and then you're getting your
all
massages.
your dignity goes out the window.
All my dignity was gone. And then I had to have my sister dress me for like
2 months.
2 months and lotion.
Dress you was not the worst thing I had to do.
She had to wipe me and lotion. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's got to get worse because I'm going back for my thighs. So you're going to have to do a hell of a lot more. Are you ready? But no, so I was very self-conscious, modest, and all my dignity out the window.
Yep.
Out the window.
So imagine that.
What, that surgery?
Yeah.
I don't know what the recovery looks like for that.
I don't know what the surgery looks like, period. Like, what's that going to be like?
No clue.
Yeah, so back to the face.
Yeah, back to the face. Can you do the face and the vajayjay at once? People are going to be asking that, or body and vajayjay.
I've already had people that have asked, hey, while I'm there doing my face, can I get this looked at the same time? I would just look. I wouldn't it be great if you could have one doctor one end and one doctor dummy on? I mean, you'd come out and you'd be refreshed.
In the perfect world.
But no, but I think, like having your face done and can I get lipo at the same time? Like it's 2 different doctors. It's 2 separate surgeries.
It's 2 different ORs.
Everything's going to be different. So it's probably going to be, well, it's a no.
To be,
you know,
a no.
Yeah, you one thing at a time.
Yep. So going back to the face, what were you saying? Now that you are Dr. Espino's coordinator, what's his schedule look like right now?
You know what? I was actually just looking at it this morning. So, we're almost full for the year. To be completely honest, we're almost full, and I know people are going to freak out. We're almost full. There are like some dates that are lighter on than others. I would say maybe September, maybe August and September. We have a few more open dates, but I would say
random scattered.
But
dates.
I would say every other month, like July, October, November, December. 2 or 3 dates here. 1 date in December. 2 dates in November. October we might have 3 or 4.
So
August
you want a surgery
August and
date
September,
this year,
we might have 6
get in now.
Because there are a handful of there's probably there might be 15 dates left for the rest of the year. I would say,
but cancellations do happen.
Yes, but they haven't. But they haven't really been that frequent with Dr. Espino. I will say there's been maybe 1 or 2. But other than that, there really hasn't. So I would say if you know when you want to come or if you're thinking about it, I can let you know, especially if you tell me what month. Hey, look, I'm thinking of coming in September. I can tell you what dates we've got available and we can go from there. Even January of next year is like I might have 2 dates in January of next year that are open. So please let me know.
It's crazy because your facelift was the first one we documented because you were the first one he did with EOC, not the first facelift he's ever done, but the first one with us. So I heavily covered yours on social media, and it's still today, all of your facelift videos are still getting questions. But since you've had yours, obviously people have booked in and scheduled and had
it
their
took
surgery.
time,
it takes time for him to build like an EOC profile.
Right.
But let me tell you, the facelifts he is producing, these photos that I'm seeing, they're like 1 week post,
like
2 weeks,
stunning,
like, mind blown.
Yeah.
Like they're looking like these women are looking like mother and daughter.
Yeah, they really are. They really are. He's
that
very
good.
He's very good.
He's fantastic.
I got very lucky.
You got extremely lucky.
I got very lucky.
You got extremely
well, like I said, like if I would have done my research, if I knew that this was happening, like if I knew, like I mean, obviously it was something that I toyed with in the back of my mind.
It happened quite fast.
Yeah, it was a very, very quick decision. Am I doing the right thing? Like, okay, well, you've been talking about it, so you may as well do it. But if I had done my research, he would have been who I chose.
Yeah.
And that's to me, like if I can say that to if I can honestly say that to myself, then that was the right decision.
Yeah.
I didn't know it at the time. That's why I say I got lucky because he would have been who I chose if I
regardless.
Yep.
Yeah.
And knowing and seeing what I see now, and his attention to detail and all that sort of stuff, and how much of a perfectionist he is.
Because I know you're very, very
particular.
Very particular.
Very particular.
Me, not so much, but you.
Oh, I'm very particular. Yeah.
So, and also like being his coordinator is like so good because I know for you.
Yep.
Like, for example, selling. Like you don't sell. Like you're not like I'm not a salesperson or
At
whatever.
all.
Nicole hates it. So for you to give your
Hate.
recommendation, it's
Hate sales.
because you are so passionate about it. You know what I mean?
I feel like like I'm passionate in life, like I either really, really like something or I really, really don't.
We know your forehead gives it away.
Right.
She's very expressive.
So yeah, passionate, right? Like passionate, aggressive, passionate, whatever. Like I either love it or I don't. So it's hard for me to talk about something that I don't necessarily believe in. I'm just not going to talk about it at all if I don't believe in it. But if I do, I'm going to tell you all about it. Yeah. So that's why, like, I think this is a really good either position for me or he's a really good surgeon for me to advocate for because I really believe what I'm saying. I'm not just saying it because I think that you should come and, have surgery with us because, we need to make more money. It's not like that's just like, take not all of that. No, never. But I'm not even like that in life. So that's why this is perfect because I actually honestly believe everything that I'm telling you.
Like here, I love this. I love this for me and I love this for you. Nicole's that person.
I love it. I know you're going to love it. Please just trust me because when you do love it, you're going to be very thankful.
Right. So let's talk about you being a coordinator.
Yeah.
You are you're very, like a lot of coordinators are very via email. You're via email too, but you love to pick up the phone and call your patients, don't you?
Well, I mean, I just feel like if we can, like, I feel like that only because I wish it was like that for me in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Like I need to know everything that's going on. If I have a question, I don't like to type. And to be completely honest, when I do type your emails, I actually voice record them. Like, so I don't even type on the keyboard. I press my little button and I say my answer. Because I like it. I like it to sound like we're having a conversation because that's how I would normally have a conversation.
So if there's ever a typo,
it's autocorrect.
Siri's not understanding what she's saying.
Sorry about that. It's usually autocorrect, and I do.
You sent me an email the other day. You're like, look what I almost accidentally sent someone, and it was like, I don't know. It was horrible. Hilarious. I was at the gym cracking up.
My voice to text. I don't even know if you'd be allowed to. But I'm telling you, my voice to text autocorrect like does me dirty
Picks
sometimes.
Up some doozies.
And I'm so quick on the send button.
Send, you don't even read it.
No, I don't. So I'm sorry if you get some random stuff from me. Sometimes I think like that they might, if people don't know me, they might think that I'm like a different ethnicity.
No wonder why voice text doesn't know what you're talking about.
Because like it sounds like I'm not speaking properly, because of the autocorrect. But anyway, I do. But I do like to have a chat to people because I feel like there's a more of an understanding when people have questions, or I can go into a little bit more detail because I'm probably not going to type all that, let's jump on the phone and I'll tell you all about it, so that I know that you understand and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I like to, but if you don't want to talk to me, you don't have to, we never have to have a conversation because some people don't like the communication. They just want to go in, know what they have to do and then get out of there. They don't need any other interaction. And I'm okay with that as well. But if you've got some questions, I'm happy to.
Can you explain the consultation process? This is while I'm looking for your text. I've got to find it. It was hilarious.
So yeah, you'll
almost peed my pants.
We've got a surgeon for that, right? Because I think he does all that too.
He does.
So you'll either write in or you'll give us a call, hello@eliasortiz.co. Let us know you're interested in what type of surgery, whether it's face surgery or any other plastic surgery or bariatrics, but generally face surgery. I'll get the contact. I will send you a little welcome email. I'll also send you another email that's going to go to your junk or your spam. So you're physically going to have to type my name, Nicole, into your email search field. Like, not just search for it, type in NICOLE. Next minute, it pops up. That's the health form you didn't think that you got. Okay, there's going to be 3 emails inside that.
3 links.
There's going to be, let's start again. There's going to be, that email is going to have 3 links inside it, right? So one of the links, some frequently asked questions. The next link is going to be a link to the support group page on Facebook. The third link, the big link, it's going to say, please click on this link to fill in your digital health application online. You'll click on that. It's going to have all your health details. It's going to have the surgeon you're interested in. It's going to have all the medications you take. If you've had your fillers and stuff, you'll fill that out. You'll take 3 photos. You'll attach it to that form. As soon as you hit submit, I get a notification that it's back. I'll go through it, make sure you filled out everything correctly. I'll send that to Dr. Espino. Now, Dr. Espino that is your consultation, basically. That's your application. He's going to look at that. He's going to tell you everything that you need done. Now, Dr. Espino's not doing single procedures at this time, so he's not just going to give you an upper eyelid. He's not going to do the blepharoplasty. He's not.
A lot of people are asking that.
They just want their eyes done. He's not doing single procedures with EOC at this time. So if you're just coming in for a rhinoplasty, he's not doing that. He's concentrating on full facial rejuvenation surgery. So he's doing the lot. So you'll put that in. I'll send it over to him. He'll come back with a recommendation. He's going to say everything that he thinks you need to give your face the full rejuvenation. So when he comes back with some of his quotes, like some people will say, oh, I don't want the buccal fat pad removed, or do I really need that? I don't even know if I'm saying it right, the melioplacure.
I have no idea what that is.
So it's, when they take there's this mucus from inside the side of your mouth. They take that out. I guess if you've got really chubby cheeks or puffy cheeks, he might say to do that, because if the rest of your face is quite hollow, and you've got really puffy cheeks, he might say that. So you might not want it done, or you might think that you don't need it, but he's trying to even you all out. So if he's saying he wants to put fat up here but take fat from here, it's because he thinks that you need it, So, and the other thing is he doesn't want to put his name, because he is very good at what he does and his results speak for themselves. He doesn't really like to deviate away from the plan too much, because if he does your face and you start removing procedures and stuff like that, and we understand that you only want what you want, but he also doesn't want to put his name on a face that looks like it's half done. So there's that as well, like that. If you go out like that,
he wants to produce the best results possible.
Right? And that's his name. So he's also protecting his name in a sense, because.
Which, I mean, let's be honest, like you can. When you are in high demand, and this is no matter who you are and what surgeon worldwide, but like when you are in high demand, you can kind of pick and choose who you're going to be able to produce
because
really good results from. You know what I mean? And if someone's like, well, I only want just one procedure.
I just want my neck done.
It's but then you
people
are going to go, where did you get done? Do this and this, and they kind of can tarnish their name, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So when you are in high demand,
to say that it is still business. Do you know what I mean? True. And you it's like an artist.
Well, because it's an elective surgery. Like this is a cosmetic procedure. It's not like something that needs to be done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you have they can be a lot more particular
with their patients.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But also you have to remember, you might just want one thing and he's going to tell you what you're going to have that's going to have the best results for you.
Yeah.
This is not about what's the best results for him. This is what's going to be the best for you.
Yeah.
And in saying that, he's going to produce the best results for you. So if he doesn't think that,
he's not going to sign off on something that's not going
that's
to
half
be the
that's
best.
half that's half done. So
sense.
Just please bear that in mind.
I've got it.
Oh wow! There was another one before this as well too. Like this was.
She says to me, good old talk text has got me again. I said, show me what you got. Okay, so she sends me a screenshot. Did you actually send this, or did you catch?
No, I caught it. I caught it before I sent it.
And I knew exactly what you were talking about. I knew exactly, because when you said the price tag, I'm like, oh, I know what this is, but if you read it, it doesn't. Because you also do the consults for Dr. Lazarus. So you are Andrea's assistant as well.
Right.
So you process his consults. So this girl named Ashley.
Kayla, I don't even know if you're allowed to say that.
Because it says, hello, Ashley. So I have to accept her email. Says, hello, Ashley. The cost.
Should I read it?
The cost of a chicken.
Stop.
What? I was in tears. I can't even do it. The cost of a chicken.
Give it to me. You bloody idiot.
I'm done. The cost of a chicken.
You're so silly.
I'm not the one who wrote it.
Oh, no. Let's see if I can see. Hello, Ashley. The cost of a chicken lettuce option and book of forever and ever with Dr. Lazarus is $3,000. Please let me know if you would like to proceed.
The chicken lettuce option.
The cost of a chicken lettuce option and a book of forever and ever. What the hell is that?
Imagine if a patient actually received that. They'd be like, nope, not going to them.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. They're like, this isn't very professional, Nicole. Like, how am I going to trust you to cut me open
100%.
when you're not professional at all.
You really got to read before you
I know,
those.
and sometimes I press send very, very quickly, but just know that I do know what I'm talking about. It's just that
talk text just doesn't know what she's talking about.
Yeah, talk to text just like does me dirty.
I know exactly what that was.
Yeah,
the cost of chin lipo was a chicken lettuce.
Chin
and
lipo
Buccal Forever was
the buccal fat pad removal. Yeah.
I knew what you were talking about, but
oh yeah, the
not
Buccal Forever and Ever.
I was dying laughing when I got that. I was like, that's hilarious. Because there was one other time you were trying to, when you were a bariatric coordinator, remember, we were on our way to New York and you were texting something about this patient has varicose veins. Trying to tell Dr. Ortiz, but it kept saying Saratoga Springs, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And you just kept saying it over and over again. I'm like, just type it, Nicole.
Yeah, but the
it's
other
not
thing
understanding what you're saying.
Yeah, but the other thing is half the time it's because I don't know how to spell it, right?
Well, there's that.
So if I say it, it's gonna catch on. But that wasn't happening at all. That one, I think I had to try and put it into Google so I could learn how to spell varicose.
Oh, geez, wow, that was tough.
Yeah,
there in the end. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think what we're going to do today. Oh, I was going to say today maybe what we'll do is like a scar update so you can see them a little bit clearer. We'll do it a lot more close up so you can see the scars. We'll probably work on that. Yeah, I think that was really it for my.
What was the hardest part of your healing process for you?
I just like. It wasn't hard. Like that's the thing. It wasn't. But it wasn't hard because I had such a positive attitude and mindset. You know what I mean? Like it all depends what's up here. It doesn't
necessarily be hard, but what was the hardest part? Because
for me, the most uncomfortable thing this was just at the start though, was my eyes because I kept sticking together. Like I just wanted someone to come in and give them a good clean.
Right.
You know, like. And we couldn't bathe them. So it was just that anesthetic spray. Spraying that and giving it a wipe. Oh, that was the best feeling ever.
At what point, what week would you say was like a turning point where you kind of felt
probably week 3, I would say. But also, let me say, like I had a little bit of blood. I would, because Dr. Espino doesn't use drains, right? So, I had a little bit of fluid, let's just say, and it was blood like around sort of like this part of my neck. I don't even know if you can see, but it was sort of like all here. And it was quite full and stuff like that. And I didn't even realize, but I guess on my last appointment, Kayla, his nurse.
She's wonderful.
She was like, I just absolutely loved her.
Everyone loves Kayla.
Good, right? So she was, she just did a thing. She was like Dr. Espino was on this side. She was on that side. She just went to town on this side of my face and he would take out the stitches here.
Hemostatic net.
The netting, the eyes, like everything. He did one side, she did the other. When you
Because you leave and there's no more stitches, right?
Yeah, you come home and you're done, right?
Or you could just heal.
So I could feel her, she was going. She was so fast and stuff. And I could just feel this pressure, I could just feel this pressure. And I didn't know what was going on. But I remember you were sitting in the table and Kayla had said to me, you wouldn't even know, but she just pushed out about 7 big chunks of blood from behind your ear that I didn't even know about.
Like, no pain, no discomfort?
No, I didn't feel a thing. I didn't even know. I could just feel, like.
Were you still numb? Is that why?
Yep. I was still numb for a long time. You're numb for a long time.
Well, that's probably why it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't hurt. I was numb for so long. So she pushed out all this blood out of this side of my neck. Didn't know it was there, didn't know it was coming, didn't know that it needed to come out. Thankful that it did, so she knows what she's doing. So what happened at that point, I guess there must have been a little opening on the top of my ear because she pushed, because I was completely closed over by the time I left. But because of her pushing on all that blood, there was a little bit of an opening at the back of my ear. Thankful that there was, couldn't see, didn't know anyway. But what happened before I left is she put a little bit of tape, up and taped over the hole. And I stayed in touch with them because, I think we've talked about this before. I didn't hop in the shower. I didn't get my incisions wet. Now, you've only got one chance to heal. Your scars only have one chance to heal, right? So I didn't want to get them wet. I didn't want the scabs to fall off when they weren't ready to. I didn't want to pick anything off because that's when you scar, right? So I remember writing to her, still no pain or anything, but I took a photo of it. When I went home, obviously I was close to 2 weeks before I went home because we were just testing how long we needed to be there for. And then I remember taking a picture of the back of my ear and I sent it to Kayla and I said to her, can I take this off yet? And she said, 3 more days. So that meant 3 more days that I wasn't going to get it wet, 3 more days that I wasn't going to put anything there. I didn't even clean it.
So when
nothing.
patients get home, they send you those photos and then you send them off?
Yep. You can send them to me. Like if he sent you, like if you think you've got a stitch there, the purple stitches are usually the ones that have to come out. If you can see a clear stitch, they're the dissolvable ones, even if they've come to the surface. Maybe
just snip
them on the surface, but don't be pulling any of those out. The purple ones are the ones that come out. The clear ones are the ones that dissolve. So I still had a couple here and there that I think that were in my hairline. And sometimes they fall out with the scab as well. When the scab comes off, it might come off with a scab. So be careful of that. But you
encourage people to send you photos.
Yeah, send us photos so we know. But the purple are generally the ones that come out. But yeah, I remember having that sticker on the back of my ear, and I think I left that for a week. So when I pulled it in the upward direction. When I did that, I was completely healed. That's when I bathed. So there wasn't anything that was difficult for me. I would say I just really listened to what they said. She said, "Don't take it off." I didn't take it off.
Yep.
He said, "Don't get it wet." I didn't get it wet. None of it was particularly hard for me, but it is a massive mental game, and it's not easy.
I think it's like any plastic surgery. Like it's a mental roller coaster.
Absolutely. And if you I wasn't scared, I wasn't worried. But the other thing is I really didn't know what to expect either. So I didn't know what it was supposed to look like.
Kind of good going in without having it.
I had no clue. Yeah. I had no clue what was happening. So for me, everything was just the way it was supposed to be.
Because I guess if you have these expectations, then you come out of surgery.
And you're not like that.
Let's be honest, you look crazy after face surgery.
I thought I looked, I felt great. I was like, I feel really good. And
when she rolled into the room after surgery, I was just like, OMG. I was like, I have to document this, but I know my mum is watching and mum's going to freak out because you had like headgear on, like you.
But then even you were like, no, is she all right?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't look okay. Like, is she okay? And I'm like, having a great time. And you're like, well, you don't look like you haven't. Couldn't feel a thing. Could not feel a thing.
It's scary to look at, to be honest, from a companion's point of view. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, because your face has just been cut and you've got stitches in your eyes and but,
it's a lot. Like it's going to
just be mentally prepared that you are not going to look.
You're not going to look okay.
Yeah, you're not right away, but
you're not.
It's a journey, and you just
right. And some people, we say this all the time. Some people heal faster than others. Some people at 2 weeks don't have a lot of bruising like others. You when you go back in there and they try and take those photos and a couple of your appointments with Dr. Espino after, you are going to be black and blue.
Yeah.
You are going to look like your whole head is bruised.
But then some of you may not. Like it's not. It's
not going to look pretty at all. But give yourself another week, like 3 weeks. I would say around 3 weeks because my eyes were still quite swollen. For easy 3 weeks. The first month, like when I was at a month, I was like, okay, I'm starting to settle down.
Yeah.
3 months, 3 months you're golden.
Patient.
But
be patient with your results, but it's going to be worth it.
You're not going to come out looking pretty at all.
No.
At all.
Just mentally be prepared.
But hey, I've seen a couple like that have come out in their 2 weeks and I'm like, they are stunning.
I know.
Like, so imagine how good they're going to look when the 3 month mark rolls around. Like they're just stunning.
Another question I get a lot on social media too is like, am I too young for a facelift or what's the right age? Like, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer for that.
So let's just say with Dr. Espino, right? He would say he's not really going to 38. It's around 38, right?
But I think it's going to depend if you're a massive weight loss patient. Too.
If you're a massive weight loss patient, right? If you're a massive weight loss patient and you are a little bit younger than that, like maybe 34, he might go down to 34. If you are a massive weight loss patient and you have lost a lot of volume in your face, then it would be something that he would consider. But I would say, it's from what I've learned with him, it's there's not very many people that have been under that age that have inquired. But for the ones that have if you have been accepted and you are under that age, it is because basically you've had a significant amount of weight loss and your face has suffered because of it. But yeah, I'd say from around 38 onwards, if you're not a massive weight loss patient, for sure.
Because a lot of people in the comments would say, oh my God, she doesn't look, for you, she doesn't look 48, she looks 68. And like,
right.
Or this is one thing, and I don't understand women. I'm a girl's girl, you know what I mean? Like I clap for you. But so many women would be like, I'm 50 or I'm 58 and she doesn't look 48. It's like, I guess, guys, it's not a competition.
Right.
Like you don't need to compare.
Competition. Good for you. We're saying
I'm like, congratulations.
Awesome.
You don't need a facelift and you're 58. Congratulations. But what you don't understand is Nicole lost a lot of volume in her face because she lost a lot of weight. You know what I mean? So you can't compare.
So, yeah. That's
how
exactly
someone
right.
looks because it's like you don't know
with your
their
age compared to your age. Like, I'm 58 and I don't look that bad. How can you look that bad when you're 48 or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's like, well, did
Kayla
you
gets a little bit defensive, you know what I mean? Which is really nice. It's really nice. So thank you. Yeah, but like, yeah, I don't. It's
I mean, it doesn't bother you. Just like the negative comments about me doesn't bother me, but it would bother you if it was you reading it.
Right.
Me, only because we know the backstories of each other.
Exactly
and
right.
then I think so many people from the outside, they don't know your story.
Yeah.
Whether that be
I didn't even know I had a story. I didn't even know I had a story, really. Like, to be honest, like, didn't even know I had one.
Well, you do now.
That's how oblivious I am to most things. I'll be like, that's a bit nasty.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know what I mean? But, but a lot of people are aware and a lot of people are self-conscious. You're lucky that you're just not that kind of person. But, you kind of do need to have thick skin, especially if you put yourself out there or, for people to see what your journey and stuff like that. There are going to be people that are mean. There are meanies out there. And that's just,
and if I don't care,
you know what I mean? But other people are going to care. You know what I mean?
Right, yes. Right.
So
you're either going to be that type of person where other people's comments don't bother you. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you can't make 100% of people happy 100% of the time.
True. As long as you're making yourself
happy. You just have to make yourself happy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter. But if you are somebody that it gets to and then it matters, it's very, very important, especially with your face, to go into face surgery with a positive mindset, because you'll go through it. You will go through it mentally. I can't say it is. It will be a challenge for you.
Yep. All right.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. It just wasn't for me. But I've had other patients or, people that have gone through it it's been a really tough mental.
Right. And they
journey.
email you and you kind of like,
chat to them and stuff like that. Like
listen,
I'm saying, what you're saying and what happened to you happened to me as well.
Yep.
I went through the same stuff. Like, it did happen to me. I didn't think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't
process it that way.
Yeah, I didn't process it that way. It's really the way you think about it. It's your perspective. Sometimes your perspective may have to change.
Yes.
The physical side of everything. Yeah, your expectations and your perceptions and your that changes and yeah, I just looked at things a completely different way. The physical was still the same.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Everything was exactly the same. The journey, the process, the physical. My perspective was different.
Yeah. But I love that you give little pep talks to your patients as well. You know what I mean?
And people feel better after you've had a conversation, not an email, a conversation with them.
You just reassure them hey, this is part of the process.
This is what happens.
So you're not only just like a coordinator who coordinates this, you're a little bit of a therapist too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you are.
Next minute.
PhD,
in therapy. No, I'm happy to have a chat about it because I went through the same thing myself.
Exactly. So you're not alone. You're not alone when you have surgery with us. And one other thing before I let you go, with EOC, Dr. Espino has his own private practice as well, and he has surgery with EOC. Now, a lot of people find us on social media, then they get confused. So with EOC, our consults are free.
Yes.
For Dr. Espino. With Dr. Espino, there is a fee attached to it. So I get a lot of people going, no, your consults aren't free. They cost me X, Y, and Z. So can you explain how to get a free consult if you're choosing to go the EOC route?
Right. So what's happening is obviously Dr. Espino has his own private practice. If you call in or Google or find his private practice and then you call his private practice or email him directly through there, what will happen is they will charge you $100 for a consultation. You may have to schedule a consultation and then they'll go through, the process basically. So that's where it costs you $100. If you are an EOC patient, right? Like, so we're the facilitator that, that helps you do your surgery. So with EOC, Dr. Espino is only doing surgery with EOC 3 days a week. It is Wednesday, it is Thursday, and it is Friday. So he's with us 3 days a week. Now, if you want facelift surgery, if you were having it with him, you would probably have to get your own way to Mexico. All that would be sorted out from that side. But with EOC, what will happen is you'll write to us or you'll call us. We'll send you the application. You'll send it back. We'll send it to Dr. Espino. He'll come back to me and he'll tell me everything that you need and how much it's going to cost. I'll send it to you. You'll have your consultation you'll have your quote and you'll have your recommendations. So what will happen is when that comes back to you, he'll let you know everything that you're going to have and then how much it's going to cost. And then we as EOC let you know what's included with that, right? So your ground transportation, we're going to pick you up from the airport. We're going to drive you across to Tijuana. We're going to check you into the hotel. We're going to take you to all of Dr. Espino's appointments. We're going to take you to see him the day before your surgery. We're going to go take you to the hospital. We're going to check you in. Dr. Espino's going to come in. He's going to do your surgery. He'll come back the next morning. You will. He'll make sure you're okay to go home. And then once you go home, our drivers will come and grab you, and they will take you back to the hotel. You'll stay in the hotel for another 7 nights. Our nurses are going to take care of you. You'll also have 2 more appointments with Dr. Espino after you've had surgery. So our drivers will take you, and then we'll take you to his office. His office building is separate from the hospital, right? So we'll take you over to his office. We will take you for your appointment. He will see you again. You'll come back. We'll do that twice. And then our drivers will take you back to the airport for you to fly back from wherever you're going from San Diego. So if you go through Dr. Espino's private practice, most of that you'll be looking after on your own, and it will cost you $100 for him to give you the consultation. If you go through EOC, the consultation will be free. I'll give you your quote and recommendation. Dr. Espino is going to be the person that looks at it and decides what you need, and then we'll come back with your price. Once we do that in your schedule, EOC takes care of everything else. We'll take care of your labs. We'll take care of the driving. We'll take care of your appointments. We'll take care of your post-op, everything.
And you're their coordinator for life.
For life. Yep. For life. So yeah, and then when you get home, if you got any questions, you let me know. Yep. Oh, Nicole, this is happening. Oh, Nicole, I can feel a stitch just here. I'm your direct point of contact. Absolutely. So all you have to do is reach out to me, and I go directly to the source. I go directly to him. He'll come back with the answers. Like if I don't know what they are, or if it's a medical question, I have to go to him, and he has to come back and advise you medically. So everything goes directly to him for sure.
Perfect. Yep. Well, thank you for the 6-month update.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, look, anytime. You know you're welcome to come and co-host this podcast.
Here we go.
Here we go. I've just roped her into it. But yeah, so we'll get posting on all the socials because a lot of people want to see your updates because it does differ from like month 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Like things relax and, take a different position. So we'll do your 6-month update when we get home.
Perfect.
Okay,
well,
awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you guys. And stay tuned for next week's episode of Bariatrics and Beyond. Cheers.